Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to your Leeds United news update. It is Connor here, fresh off the news bill. We're here discussing everything Leeds United. We're here discussing all of your latest rumours. Before we kick off, everybody, I've had a lot of requests asking me where we get the Altanaka hoodie. You can get it at Back 4 shop, everybody. Link in the description below. We've got a One Leeds and Back 4 collaboration. This is one of the finest pieces of merch you'll see. Social media people are asking me about it, and it is... Look, I wore it for a few drinks last night. You can wear it out and about with your pals. You don't look like you've just got some Leeds merch on, which some of you I know you don't like. You don't like it being too out there. You can get away with this, just being a cool bit of merch, but also it does say Altanaka down here. So listen, people might ask you about it if they're Leeds fans, but well worth it, everybody. We've got all of your Christmas bundles over there as well. I do have to say as well, Patreon is available for all of you guys. It really, really does help. If you guys head on over there and support the channel, it all goes to the proceeds and running the channel, as you can probably see. And I really, really appreciate that. We're all sponsored by Football Prizes. All of your Christmas bundle, get involved in that as well. Everybody, hospitality, free tickets, and you just have to get involved in a raffle. Well worth it. And as always, everybody, we are sponsored by IPM Group UK. Keep all of your sponsorship needs within the Leeds United community, as I have done. And make sure you check out Rick and the gang, who are available. Link in the description below. First link as well. All your CCTV and security needs. Right, everybody, let's get on to today's news, shall we? So, first bit of news is Joe Rodon. Now, we knew that he experienced a little bit of a painful injury in the game against Borough. It was a war of attrition, wasn't it, against the Teessiders, and Leeds United won the war, thank goodness. But Joe Rodon suffered a painful injury. Now, Daniel Farke was illustrating this after the game and said that Joe was one of our most important players, and we'll have to see how he recovers in the next 48 hours. But he also said it was an extremely painful injury. Also, obviously, Joe was playing for us throughout the entire of last season, really. He played 44 games for Leeds United. But Farke said he got hit in the knee, and I think it's a bruise. We couldn't afford to lose him in that game. He is a warrior. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Joe Rodon when it comes to selection. Is he going to be okay? Is he going to have recovered by Saturday? We know Saturday's a 12:30 kickoff, as it always seems to be with Leeds United at this moment in time. But a 12:30 kickoff, so Joe Rodon is one to definitely keep an eye on after Daniel Farke was saying it was a painful injury, and essentially Leeds cannot afford to lose him. Weston McKennie was on CBS last night after Juventus beat Manchester City 2-0. He was interviewed by Del Piero and Micah Richards. And why does that include Leeds United? I can hear you screaming at the TV. Maybe not screaming, just saying to the TV would be sufficient. But yeah, he was talking about Leeds. Leeds was brought up. I think it was Carragher was asking him about, and obviously Micah Richards is from Chapeltown, isn't he, in Leeds? And he was asking, Micah Richards was asking McKennie essentially what happened and what went wrong at Leeds. Now, obviously, we know in that situation it wasn't good. It wasn't good for McKennie coming over, the situation. He was supposed to be partnered with Tyler Adams. There was injuries. It just wasn't going well, and they came in at the complete wrong time. Manager churn. It was obviously, I think, didn't McKennie come in like a week after or a week before Jesse Marsch got binned off? It just wasn't a good scenario, was it? Wasn't a good scenario whatsoever. And McKennie came out yesterday and was saying that he was very alone in Leeds. There was nothing to do in the area I lived in. I had to travel an hour for Harry Potter or something like that, which Americans do love Harry Potter, don't they? But yeah, I did think to myself, McKennie, it was a very hostile situation, wasn't it, at Leeds at that moment in time between the fan base, obviously between what was the ownership right then, and McKennie came into an absolute storm. He didn't ever look fit for Leeds, I thought, didn't ever look fit. But when he first came in, especially on this channel, we couldn't believe what an unbelievable signing it was. Everybody was saying the same thing as well. You've got Weston McKennie. Wow, what a signing. So it was a really good signing for Leeds at the time, but we needed more from Weston, and he just didn't give us enough to effectively keep Leeds up. And yeah, there was no sort of loss there when he went back to Juventus. But he's doing okay for Juventus, but and I don't really know with Weston McKennie, is he ever going to get to that level of which was predicted for him? I don't think so for me. It's just is what it is. But yeah, the psychological thing of being alone in Leeds and essentially nobody being there, it must have been hard for him, to be fair, in that period. Okay. Ren in for Mez. Now, I was looking at a few websites this morning regarding Illan Meslier. I was just seeing if there was any updates, really. And there's actually been a publication close to Marseille Obviously, Marseille were in for Illan Meslier, so it's probably on the news beat out there a little bit more as well, because they might be thinking, look, for De Zerbi's side, can we get him at some point? So it's of interest with the Marseille publication as well. And apparently Rennes are willing to pay £15 million, according to this specific Marseille publication, in January. Meslier's contract is up until 2026, and you do wonder, with January coming, so if it's up in the summer months of 2026 with January, is this the last window where Leeds are genuinely able to get top dollar for him? That probably makes a hell of a lot of sense. And with the publication saying that Rennes are trying actively now to get Steve Mandanda replacement, obviously he's 39 years of age, coming to the end of his career, and with PSG being interested in Meslier, with Marseille being interested in Meslier, and now, of course, Rennes been interested in him. They've done business with Leeds. They've probably built up good connections like we have done with Tottenham Hotspur, with Archie Gray and Joe Rodon, etc. You know, friendly business, which is good, building up a relationship and upper echelon connection as well. It's probably the last time where Leeds can get top dollar. So would Leeds dare to run the risk of letting Illan Meslier go? Now, I know he had a good game the other night, everybody, but as football fans, we sometimes see in the short term instead of the long term. And this is where I am actually quite happy that he had a good game the other night, because his stock, once again, will be relatively high. If Leeds can get 15 million for Illan Meslier, I've said this before in another video, bear in mind, everybody, Michael Cooper at Sheffield United was bought for £2 million. I don't think this would disrupt anything at Leeds United right now. I really don't. I don't think the keeper's getting any action anyway, if we're being honest. In most games, Leeds have kept, 11, 12 clean sheets this season. And I wouldn't say that was because of Illan Meslier, even though he did well the other night. I wouldn't say any of the clean sheets. I would look at them and go, oh, yeah, that was because of Meslier. I don't think they have been. I think if you let Illan Meslier go, you pocket that money, Leeds could actually do something as well. You know, we could have the facilities to put some of that transfer budget into a wage structure, of which we can go out and get a couple of loans. We could then go and get a good goalkeeper, who we're going to have to do this at some point anyway in the next 5 months. In the summer, we're going to have to get a goalkeeper if we're going into the Premier League. We all know that. So why not just put it in process now? Why not be looking long term? You let Illan Meslier go, you bring that sort of money in. And as I've said, everybody, the side of it, of which is 15 million quid, means that Leeds could do so much. And no goalkeeper really is worth that at our level as well. So if you can see a trajectory of a goalkeeper going to the Premier League as well and being able to cope, you've got to go and do that. I think it'd be madness if Leeds don't do that. Junior Firpo, we've mentioned on this channel before, everybody, that Junior could be in a little bit vulnerable to a pre-contractual agreement with another club in this January period. It feels like, and it is, according to a few reports, maybe a little bit more truer than people think. There's several reports reporting it over the past week or so, that obviously with the heightened noise around Junior Firpo's injuries and him coming to the end of his contract, it is heightened now. And what do we know with Illan Meslier, with Junior Firpo? If Leeds essentially stay in the Championship, they're obviously not going to be re-signing. We know that. So when it comes to Junior Firpo right now, the state of his contract is, on the continent, he can actually sign a pre-contractual agreement as of January the 1st. Now, there is a club that is apparently in for him when it comes to this, and that is Besiktas. The Turkish club are looking very, very closely at Junior Firpo and apparently are exploring a move. Isaac Schmidt. I was just having a quick look at Schmidt this morning, because I was just having a look at Leeds' rotation options. And obviously we know that he had his hernia surgery. And apparently, according to a few publications online, he actually can't play a full 90 minutes. And this makes a lot of sense now as to maybe why we're not seeing him a little bit more. We're speaking about the rotation the other day when it comes to Leeds and what's next and why on earth isn't Schmidt getting a chance. Well, with this hernia operation, apparently he's miles off playing 90 minutes and they don't want to risk him too much. So that's something to keep an eye on right there. Lennon Miller, the Motherwell central midfielder who can play defensive midfield, he can play in attacking midfield as well. TBR Football are suggesting today, everybody, that Leeds United are going to be in with a £5 million chance of signing the youngster. He's only 18 years of age, signing the youngster in January. So keep an eye out for that one. Okay, guys, that's been today's news. We're back this evening with Battle Lines with me and Jimmy from Blades Ramble. We're going to be speaking about all your preview for the weekend. Going to be speaking about the midweek fixtures as well, so I can't wait to see you there. Thanks so much for joining. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in a bit.